Hey everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Forex Market Preview. My name is Jason Stapleton, and first a couple of apologies. I apologize to you guys for last week. I had planned to do a Forex Market Preview, as I told you in my email, when I got to California, and then when I got there, I arrived late. I had a raging headache, and I hadn't eaten anything, and it was, one of those, I was stuck in coach at the back of this plane. It was a flipping nightmare. By the time I got to the airport, or by the time I got to my hotel, all I wanted to do was sleep. And then the second thing is I had promised some of you guys, I said, hey, if you're in town, if you're in the San Diego area, I'd love to sit down and have coffee with you, maybe chat a little bit. I had several people who responded to me who were down in that area who wanted to come in, and I had planned to have some time, especially in the morning hours and then again in the evening time when I could do that because I didn't have anything on my schedule. And what ended up happening was the people that I was supposed to be meeting with during the day ended up wanting to do some get together socially in the mornings and then also for dinner in the evenings. And so I really had absolutely no time to get any of that done. And I feel really bad about it. And I really apologize to you guys. And the next time I'm out that way, I will do everything in my power to set something up or to schedule some time where where I could meet some guys, because I like anytime I go somewhere, I always try and sit down with somebody that I know in that area or somebody that I've been talking to for, in some cases, years. I know Rick. I really apologize, man. We've known each other through trading for many years. And finally had a chance to sit down and have a cup of coffee and chat about life with you, and I ended up not having the time. So I really, really apologize about that. Next thing, we're going to turn to the charts here, and I just want to talk real briefly about what we do now. If you're new, if you've never done this, never been here before, what we do here is this is my attempt to show you what I'm looking at over the course of the next week, to show you guys some potential trade setups that I think are going to be high reward, low risk opportunities, and then to present those to you and basically kind of work with you a little bit on looking into next week, and also teaching you a little bit about trading, specifically Forex related, because I deal mainly almost exclusively in currencies and from a trading perspective. And so what we're going to do today is kind of talk about a couple of the trades that we had last week, and then kind of look at some higher time frame stuff this week. Now, I tend to stick to the 4 hour and daily charts. We go down to 60 minutes, so basically between daily and 60 minute, mainly because I want to give you guys time to react to it. If you're new to trading, one of the best things that you can do is not have to make split-second decisions. So if I show you a pattern formation and you see that thing, like for example, the Canada trade that we're looking at right now, we'll just zoom into that now. But on the Canada trade that we're looking at right now, you'll see that we were talking about, it was all the way back in here, around 104.32s, that we were talking about a potential cipher pattern that was completing around the 786. Then that market fell back, and then we rallied hard right back up into that level. Well, the nice thing about that is that you don't have to make a decision like instantly. When you see something like this, there's going to be hours and hours and hours and hours before it can potentially complete. In this case, it took a couple of weeks, I think, or at least a full week to complete. And so one of the things that I want to give you guys time to do is to look at it, to walk away, to come back, say, did I really see what I thought I saw? Are things really lining up? Let me double check and make sure that all the rules that I have in place are actually correct and that I didn't miss something here. When you don't have to make that split-second decision, it makes it much, much easier for you to make decisions, because you can do it slower because you have more time. So enough said about that. As you can see here, Canada, this is on the 4 hour chart, Canada dollar had the cipher pattern. Boom, like I said, we called it around the 104.30s area, came back the other direction. Then we rallied back up, and if I draw in my straight line here, right across the 786, we say we entered there on the 22nd. That would have been our short. And now the market has kind of traded sideways here, and we're right back to basically break even. What you may not be aware of here is that there is another cipher pattern that has just set up right here. Boom, boom, and then down here, coming back up into 786 is somewhere in a little higher than that, somewhere around there. Probably too high. Oh, right on it, right there, 786. So this is our other shorting opportunity. This is a cipher pattern. It's a bearish pattern for those of you who are new to pattern formations. It's a bearish pattern, and what we're expecting the market to do here is to retrace. Now we've already hit target 1 here, because our target 1 is going to be our 382, and that happened right there. So we came up, we tapped it on the very next candle, or potentially in the same candle, we took out target 1. We haven't hit target 2 yet. So there are a couple of different patterns in here, 2 different ciphers, one of them small, one of them large, both pointing in the same direction. We've got a nice area for stops back here on the larger cipher pattern. Condensing the chart up here, you're going to see that this is, really, if the market gets above that level, clearly this pattern is not going to be valid, and we're not going to want to be in that trade. So this is a really, really nice area here to, to look for a shorting opportunity. And again, I focus on patterns because they're very high probability. In terms of when you find them, we have very good risk rewards, and we tend to have better than 50-50 odds. In fact, they're, whether we're talking about ciphers or bats or Gartley patterns, all of them have better than 60% accuracy. So when we can find them, we want to take the trade every time. We just want to be very, very disciplined about it. And in this case, we've got a couple of different patterns showing up, and we've got a nice area to look for stops. Now, let's go. I'm going to go over to the euro here, and I want to bump this up to a daily chart because I want to just take a real bird's eye view. This thing's been, really back and forth recently, and now we've had a rather significant decline here, and the market has held up around 3200s. Well, why 3200s? Well, let's look left. Okay. Look left, structure leaves clues. You'll hear me say it again and again and again. Look at the structure here. This is a daily chart, remember. So this is like, the really big support and resistance levels. All right. And if we look back, we've got the market came in, and if we kind of develop a range here, which I like to do, we can create a kind of a wide range here. So we would call this, the potential reversal zone, if we're looking for a trend continuation trade off of this. And the market came up, we violated, we came back down in, retested previous structure resistance. We rallied out of that, we came back down in again, tested the potential reversal zone. We rallied out, we come back down in, and again, market holding that significant support level. So we have kind of an anchor point here that we want to pay attention to. And again, you can see it here, where that market found that resistance level. You can see it back here. It continues to exist all the way along. So we want to be very, very cognizant of this level, and this is a potential buying opportunity here. Now, if I go ahead and collapse my chart up here, we're going to look for, if we buy them here, our first profit target has to be somewhere around here, right? Because look at that resistance. Clearly, we've got another very strong resistance level. Market even made a false breakout here and then came all the way back. So we want to be very, very cautious of the 3400s level. And the market has come back down now into 3200s, 3220s, and we've got an opportunity here to take a rally to 34s. Now, we can do stops and, let's not even, I try and stay away from stops and targets in here just because it's, that requires a much more in-depth conversation. And I literally have about 300 people a month who are brand new who come into this Forex market preview every single month. So with that said, if I start talking in too detail about this, some of you guys are like, man, I've heard this every time I come in here. He says the same thing. He's got to rehash all the old stuff because we get all these questions about it. So I try and stay away from, talking about stops and targets, but I do want you to kind of pay attention to structure because that's what's really important here. We're talking about, for most of you guys, you have been trading and trying this thing out for a very long period of time, and you've been unsuccessful at it. And you have accumulated a wealth of information, and I don't call it knowledge because knowledge is applied information. And because you're not applying the information correctly, you haven't actually created any knowledge. And so what I like to do with traders, this is one of the things that we're going to be doing at the Technical Trader Workshop that I'm holding. It's an online event. It's a week long. We're going to be trading live. Akil and I are going to be showing you some of this stuff in a lot more detail because we'll have a lot more time to do it in. But what we want to do is we want to strip away all that stuff and just get rid of all the junk. And since everybody's junk is different, I tell everybody just scrape it all away. Just forget everything that you think you know or you thought you know. Let's start from the beginning and let's look at how the market moves. Quite simply, markets move up, they move down, they move sideways. And we want to constantly be paying attention to where are the major structure levels in the market? Where are those turning points coming in at? And as you can see here, we can make some trading decisions, okay? Now, we're looking at the potential reversal zone. We're seeing the euro holding that level. I don't know if the euro will rally here. I really don't. I have no idea. I know that there's a high likelihood, given the fact that we've seen support in this zone several different times and resistance previously, that this is going to be a key point in the market where we're going to make a decision. Are we going higher or lower? Right now, the indication based on the close is that we are going to go higher. So where would we look for targets? Well, all we're going to do is we're going to look for that structure again. We got structure at 34, and we got structure back here around 36.30. So we want to pay attention to that. We want to know, and we look at risk reward. That's the other thing that we want to check out. So let's say we're going to put our stops below here. We're going to throw our stops in down here around 31, just under 31.50. So let's go 31.35s for our stops, okay? Give us a good indication as to whether, if the market violates by that much, pretty good chance that we're going to be wrong. So if the market, and I'm making some assumptions here because the market's closed right now, but assuming that the market opens where it closed, this is our potential risk. Because we're going to sell here at 32.20s, and we're going to look to close out our position for a loss at 31.35 if we're wrong. If we're right, we're going to open at 32.20, and we're going to hit some initial targets at 3,400, call it 33.90, and we're going to have some potential follow-on targets with the second half of our position to around 3,600 or 36, call it 36.10. So you can see the difference in the risk reward that we create now based on this trading opportunity. So we ask a couple of different questions. Number one, is the market more likely to go up or down from here? Which one is it? Well, clearly based on previous structure, based on what's happened previously in the market, we can tell that this is a major point of problem for the euro, either resistance or support, depending on whether we're trading above or below this level. We've created a zone inside of which we can say, okay, if the market is going to continue in trend, this is going to be the best buying opportunity that I could have. And then we're going to say, once I've determined, yes, the market has a higher likelihood of going up than down, then what is my risk to reward? What am I risking on this trade versus what do I stand to gain? And in this case, we've got a very, very nice risk reward, about a 2-to-1 on our first target, and a multiple of that, probably 4 or 5 to 1, probably 5 to 1 on the balance of the position. So when you can hit one of these, well, what I'm saying is you don't have to be right very often. I mean, even if this thing is right, say 50% of the time, say 40% of the time, and you're hitting target 2 40% of the time, you're going to be making a killing. But it only works if you can be disciplined enough to trade it every time you see it. Trade it every time you find that structure. Because if you don't trade it every time, then you end up taking 3 or 4 or 5 losses in a row, and then you say, well, this doesn't work. And then you move on to something else, and sure enough, the very next trade would have not only covered all of your losses, but it would have also paid for the winners. This is Richard Dennis in the Turtle Program, for many of you who have read that book and have read about Richard Dennis and how he took a handful of traders, and over the course of about 2 weeks, taught them a strategy and then set them out to trade it, and they became some of the most successful traders on earth, an average of 80% returns. Not all of them became successful, but the ones that did became very, very successful. But the difference is that one of the unique things about Richard Dennis's program was that he was wrong. His trades were wrong about 70% of the time. Only about 30% of the time did the trades make money. But because he had good oversight, because he taught the traders a system, because he managed it well, those traders were able to make, incredible returns in the market. And what I'm saying to you is that it doesn't really matter what strategy you use to trade, what you choose to do, as long as that strategy is profitable. And we can show you I can show you multiple of trading opportunities and different ways to trade the market that'll be profitable if you follow it. What's really important is the fact that you're following that plan inside and out. Now, if you're taking a look at this and you're saying, well, yeah, Jason, but daily charts, 4-hour charts, I'm trading with a very small account. I really don't have, the money to invest in doing these long-term plays where I've got to take hundreds of pips of risk. I get that. One of the things that we do every single day, is we have the syndicate. And this is a little piece of software we developed. Now, for you syndicate members, I actually have an updated version of this that's coming very soon. Like, it was supposed to be to me on Friday. They're having one little hiccup glitch with it, and then I'm going to be testing it internally, and there's going to be a new version out. But basically, every single day, you can see here, pound yen, bullish Gartley, 5-minute chart. Here's a 5-range chart. We have some additional trades here where we look at dynamic support and resistance. So we use our DSR levels. Which is basically what we're talking about here, about finding areas of resistance and support and trading those areas. So inside of this little trading platform, inside this little platform here, this piece of software that we've got, we deliver trades every single day. I mean, I think on the 28th, there was like 8 or 10 of these trades, and they just come out. Here's a 60-minute trade, a couple of 60-minute charts in there, and we trade these lower time frames in here. 15-minute, here's another 5-minute trade. So we take these lower time frame trades, the 5-range trade, and we deliver those to you in real time as we're finding them throughout the day, so that you guys have some of these trading opportunities every single day. Now, this is part of our syndicate program. It's cheap. It's $20 a month. And I think if you have any interest in this, not to turn this into a pitch fest, but if you have any interest in that, I would highly suggest that you do it. And all you got to do is just go to the syndicate page and subscribe. It's real easy. But anyway, most important thing is following a set of rules that you know are profitable. And my job is to deliver to you and to teach you the principles that are going to help you to be successful. Now, on that note, I have to take a minute here and address something before we go. And this is very important to me. I have seen some comments on the website. I'm sorry, on the YouTube page, not on the website, on the YouTube page. Essentially, both questioning my methodology, but more importantly, questioning my integrity. And I don't mind if you question the methodology. I really don't, because what you're going to find is that you can. I don't mind being challenged and saying, well, hey, that doesn't seem to make sense to me. Can you explain that in more detail? When you say, I think you're full of blankety blank, and why don't you go F yourself? And I want you guys to keep something in mind. Okay, this is free. I do this to communicate with people and to share knowledge and information for anybody who wants to listen. And I spend my Saturday and my Sundays away from my family to put this video out every week. I'm sitting here now on a Saturday afternoon. My kids are in bed taking a nap, and I'm in here in my office recording a video for you guys to see, to try and teach you how to make money and how to stop losing money and establish a profitable track record in a career that can just be incredible. It can be the most exciting thing that you've ever done. And if you're going to insult me, expect to be deleted. And I want you to know that I don't appreciate it, that there is somebody on the other side who actually reads this stuff. And that if you have evidence, that's not even the right way to put it. I am doing my best to deliver the information that I think is going to be most valuable to you. I have no ulterior motive. You guys know I run an education company. If you're interested in education, I'm here for you. But this is free, and it will always be free. And so I would appreciate it if you don't like what you see. And I'm speaking mainly to people who are new. If you don't like what you see, if you don't like what you hear, if you think that I'm a scam artist, if you think that I am, just out to fleece people of their money, then don't watch. But don't come on and question my integrity and criticize me without having any basis for doing that whatsoever. I find that one of the most disgusting and just childish things that you can do. And I'm trying to be as polite as I can. I could be much more militaristic with it because there are some things that I would like to say to a few of the people who've commented. But enough said on that. I don't want to end on a negative note because I'm very excited. It's a very small handful of people, and there are tons and tons of you who watch this video every week and who send me emails telling me how much you appreciate me doing it and asking when I don't put one out. So to you guys, thank you so much for continuing to watch, and I'm going to continue to do it, and I'm going to continue to ignore those that choose to be kind of nasty. But the internet's a nasty place, and I got thick skin, so we'll go from there. Now, one other thing, just before I go, I'll just show you the pound trade here on the daily chart again. You know what? I'll leave this for another day. We'll look at this another day because we're already way over. So anyway, until next time, guys, good luck and good trading. Again, if you're interested in getting more of these trades throughout the day and being part of some of the other stuff that we do, a syndicate's a great place to start. So until next time, guys, good luck and good trading. I'll talk to you all soon.